What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Going Superhuman. I would like to apologize currently for the nasally sound of my voice. I'm finishing up a fight with a nasty head cold. Why I haven't put out a video in a day or two. But wanted to get the Going Superhuman episode out this week. So I'm getting back into my regular weightlifting schedule again, which is going to be, mostly squats, bench press, and overhead press right now, because I am also getting prepped for a small local karate tournament that's coming up. We got a lot of our students competing, so Jackie and I decided that we should probably compete as well, but I haven't competed in a tournament in quite a while, so I'll be chronicling a little bit of my prep for that tournament in this and other future episodes, and I'm going to be dialing back just a little bit on my weight training to make some more time for my martial arts training. But here, this is still my regular weightlifting schedule. I'm going with squats and bench press on this day. This is a volume day. I should be doing 5x5, but I'm actually just doing 5x3 because it's the first time I've lifted in a little while. So just kind of getting back into it. And I didn't feel like decreasing the weight so I could finish all 5 sets. So I'm just doing what weight I can for what reps I can for 5 sets. This is 240 pounds. And then when I move on to the bench press, that's going to be at 180 pounds. I actually felt surprisingly good doing these, even though I haven't squatted in at least a couple of weeks, I think. I didn't squat for like all of August, and then I didn't squat for like all of September for the most part. Stuff just keeps getting in the way with setting up Hero Academy Fitness and the new Rising Fist Martial Arts Dojo. So, but I've been pretty consistent this week, with the exception of yesterday. I didn't go for my run like I was supposed to. Went for an hour run earlier this week, which is fun. I can't remember the last time I've run for a full hour straight. Got a nice blister on my foot for that. If you guys follow me over on the Best Dan Wallace, you'll have seen that episode. But then I got in 2 lifting sessions, and then I'm going to get another one in today. I got to test my 5-rep max today. I'm going to be shooting for 270, and we're going to see how that goes on the squats. Bench press felt pretty good, but I did have to gut it out for some of the last reps, and I think I only got 4 or 3 reps in for most of the sets here too. Again, it was a volume day, and I'm just not used to that volume of that weight. Even the last time I lifted in September, I went with a slightly lower weight. I didn't want to cheat the weight this time, so I decided just to stick with it. Just for review, for those who have not been watching this from the beginning, the general schedule is on any given week, I'm lifting 3 times. And the first lifting day of the week is a volume day, where I'm doing sets of 5x5 on my squats, and then 5x5 on either bench press or overhead press, and then 1x5 on deadlift, and then whatever, supporting lifts I want to work in. I've been doing pull-ups and stuff like that lately. And then the second day of the week is recovery day. It's 2x5 squats at the 80% of the weight that I did on the first day, and then either 5x5 overhead press or bench press, depending on what I didn't do on the first day, and no deadlifts on the recovery day. This is 305 pounds in the deadlift. I got this out, no problem. I could have gone heavier on this as well, but again, first time back, didn't want to chance it. And I think I'm going to move on after this to a tour of the space where Hero Academy Fitness is going in and where Rising Fist is already moved into. So that's coming up next. Done a walkthrough recently, so been a little update since you guys last saw it. We got all our cool stuff in the window here, and got our window fogging up. Got an unnecessarily loud Jeep outside, so come on in. We got the cubbies almost done. They still need to get painted. The front is stained, which is nice, but we got to get those painted. Got the walls primed. Walk over here. This is our sitting area / office. Jackie did a fantastic job setting this up, and he got the TV set up as well. Got our corkboard there. Got to get some stuff put on it. Desk is over here. Got our cool display case. There's Domo. Hey, buddy. And so it's the sitting area. Basically done in here, which is nice. Moving on out, we got our trophies set up on the wall. We got chalkboard, and this is the workout area now. It's really coming together. It looks gorgeous. Everybody's done an amazing job with it. We got the cubbies over there. We're thinking of doing a curtain in the front here because the kids keep like peeking through. It's a little distracting. So we're thinking of doing a curtain there. But eventually that wall is going to have all kinds of stuff attached to it. Pull-up bars, Ninja Warrior stuff, maybe some rock climbing handholds for building finger strength, stuff like that. This right now is where we wait for the bus, but eventually it's going to be where the power rack and strength training stuff is, at least some of it. Got to get a rubberized floor for down there. It's part of what startup costs. There we go, more startup costs. Bathroom is all good to go. Looks very nice and clean. Got the handprints on the wall from all the kids. Cool stuff. There are our mats over there. We got to hang these balance beams. We got hooks. We got these two gymnastics balance beams. We got hooks for them to hang them like up on the wall-ish, so they're kind of out of the way. We just haven't figured out exactly where we're going to put them yet, and we haven't put them in yet. But yeah, so this is the space. It's looking pretty good. As far as the Ninja Warrior stuff goes, I'm kind of starting to plan out how I'm actually going to do it. Looking to incorporate lots of stuff, lots of things that are going to come down and hang and or attach to the ceiling. So like climbing ropes and gymnastics rings and stuff like that, because up above the drop ceiling we could attach into a joist up there. And basically, I mean, all of these panels can be very easily moved out of the way, and we can drop something down, then when we're done, put it back up again. Because again, all of the Ninja Warrior stuff basically has to be able to go away to make this a clear floor for karate and eventually judo. So we need to figure out a way to make it as portable as possible. Planning on using metal scaffolding with rubber feet on it, anchored potentially maybe to either ceiling joists or just to see how it feels freestanding for some stuff. And again, stuff hanging from the ceiling. I'm planning on doing parkour boxes like wedges, like a little wedge with a flat top on it. And doing different sizes and designing them so they can be nested together basically, so that when I'm not using them I can stack them up and either put them like either along the back wall here maybe if they'll fit, or we've also got outside, which is a little bit of a mess right now, but could eventually do some sort of like a little shed or just cover them with a tarp or something like that and put them out here. So those will be just basically anything that comes on the floor has to be able to come off again when we're done, that's all. So gonna be probably doing like PVC piping kind of stuff for floor obstacles. That's the other thing, is we got to keep in mind, don't want to scratch this nice floor that everybody worked so hard on. So everything's gonna have rubber feet and or some sort of cushioning and stuff to make sure that it doesn't damage this lovely floor that we've got. And then in here, like I said, power rack and stuff, that's just gonna live in there. I was originally thinking maybe bringing it out up onto the floor when it's being used, but that just seems like a giant pain in the butt that's not really necessary. There's enough room to operate a barbell at least optimally in this space, if nothing else. So yeah, it's amazing how far this place has come. And I'm really fired up about it. It's pretty awesome. Alright, so now we've toured the dojo. This is the second half of my training. This is a couple hours after I did my lifting. I'm going to be doing hand kata, weapon kata, and point kumite sparring at this tournament. They don't have any kind of full contact sparring, it's just point kumite. For those that are not aware, point kumite is basically the first attack that gets in, counts as a point. In the black belt division, it's generally considered a light contact to medium contact event, so you're not supposed to like wail into the guy. Generally, if you draw blood, it counts as a disqualification, but it's also not completely no contact. I'm just not a huge fan of point kumite anymore, just because I feel like it's not a great indicator of an actual fight. So, but anyway, as I said, I'm doing hand kata and weapon kata. That's what we're going to be doing here. I'm running through Sun Tzu kata. I'm doing this slow, and I'm thinking about the moves and fixing up stances and stuff as I'm going through. This is usually how I start my practice off. When I'm practicing kata, is I'll run through it slowly, just kind of going through the motions and checking everything, banging the rust off, looking at moves, making sure my stances are correct, or dachi as is the term for it in Japanese. And then I'll do another round hard and strong. So I'm going to practice Sun Tzu kata because that's my hand kata of choice that I'll be performing at the tournament. You can see I stopped and fixed my stance up there, make sure my feet are correct. This is a good way to improve in any skill, by the way. As you're practicing, start slow. Do it really slowly. Think about it hard. Get everything set properly, and then slowly walk through it before practicing it, you know, at full or near full speed. And then my weapon kata that I'm going to be doing after this is called Shoten Yara no Sai. But first, I'm going to run through Sun Tzu Slow Think, and then I'm going to run through it Hard and Strong. Sun Tzu kata, by the way, is the only kata that is native to my style Isshinryu. Isshinryu is an amalgamation of two different styles, Goju-ryu and Shorin-ryu karate. And it's kind of a more modern art in that respect. It was developed by a guy named Tetsuo Shimabuku, Soke Shimabuku. And Sun Tzu kata is the only kata that Shimabuku made up specifically for Isshinryu. It's his kata. Every other kata that we do is featured in some variant either in Shorin-ryu or Goju-ryu. And even though we do it differently than they are done in Shorin-ryu and Goju-ryu sometimes, there are small differences. They're still relatively the same kata. We have kata such as Nahachi, Seiyuchin, stuff like that. Some of which you'll find in a whole bunch of different Okinawan karate styles in some variant, one way or another. San-chin, for instance, or Kusanku, Shinto, Wansu, stuff like that. Seisan kata also featured in a lot of other styles. But Sun Tzu is the only kata that we have that is specific to Isshinryu itself. Now, I did do this kata at a bunch of other tournaments back when I was competing a lot. I won a fair number of times with it. Although, like I said, I am out of practice, so definitely stuff to work on in it. But overall, I felt pretty good about it. I like going back and watching my kata on video like this because it enables me to see my own weak points better than even as I'm going through it slow think. After this, we're moving on to Shoten Yara no Sai. Shoten Yara no Sai is Sai kata that you will see also in a lot of different Okinawan Kabuto martial arts. Kabuto is Okinawan weapon arts. Shoten Yara was the name of, supposedly, this is of course, you know, committed to legend at this point, but Shoten Yara was a figurehead who was said to have been one of the first people to propagate hand martial arts and weapon martial arts through the Ryukyu Islands, Okinawan region, from China. So lots of different styles have various Shoten Yara versions of various kata. So this is Shoten Yara no Sai. It is the highest level Sai kata that we have in Isshinryu. And Sai being my favorite weapon in our style of karate, this has been my go-to for a little while. But it's a difficult kata, and on top of that, I haven't done it consistently in a long, long time. So this is the one that I definitely need more work on. And as with Sun Tzu, I'm going through it slow think first, just going over my stances, my transitions, making sure mentally my head is all there, and just moving through. The cool thing that I like about Shoten Yara no Sai is, versus other Sai kata, is that it's got a lot of funky motions and a lot of motions that you don't see in other Sai kata. You got whipping strikes that come around, like that one right there. You've got different forms of pommel strikes that you have only in this kata. You've got different maneuvers with your feet that exist. Shoten Yara is a lot different from a lot of other Sai kata in that it's got a lot of moves that are unique to just it. And it's a good length, and it's got some funky movements, and it's pretty complicated, which can make it a little difficult sometimes as you're running through it. But in general, it's a lot of fun. Definitely one of my favorite Sai kata. Now that strike right there should have been head height. Again, these are things that I just noticed as I'm running through. Those are definitely head height strikes. And this is just the slow think version. And I'm pretty sure, if I recall correctly from when I was recording this, after this I go on to hard and strong, do it at full speed and full strength, but I'm pretty sure I actually mess up at full speed and full strength. So we'll watch and see. I think there's a point where I skipped part of the kata and I go back and I start again from part of the way through, if I recall correctly. I ran through this a couple of times. This is only one recording of the number of times that I ran through it. Other cool thing about this kata, you see right there, I start with only one sai in my hand, and then I pull the other one out. When I'm wearing a full gi, that one is tucked into my belt, but this one, they're just tucked into my shorts. Sets of 3 for almost everything. There, right there. That's the part that I missed. I'm supposed to draw back and do 2 double pommel strikes and then a head strike. And this is the point where I realize it. Right there. Whoops, I done messed up. So, got to go back to the beginning, start all over again. This is the value of doing it slow think and then hard and strong is slow think, I can take my time and think about it. Once I get a hard and strong, I get into muscle memory territory. Sometimes you mess up. This is something I do for my students too. If you're ever teaching something, kata or form-wise to students, have them go through it slowly, and then have them go through it basically as fast as they can. And between the two of those, you'll see all the spots. This is the part that I forgot before. You'll see all of the spots that they need to work on, because sometimes you'll discover mistakes when you're slow think mode. They go, oh, and they discover that spot themselves. And sometimes when they're going through it as fast as they can, wherever they slip up on is where the parts that they really need work on. So I didn't do it fast as I can here. This is just normal, hard and strong. But even then, you get to a point where we're relying on muscle memory, and you will discover the points that you're weakest. This is called the Frankenstein section, jokingly, by a lot of us black belts, because all you're doing is just walking forward and punching. It feels kind of plodding, but I think it's fun. Out here, out. Strike, down. I love that part. And then here, you clear off, come in. This is the big charge. Let's do a head strike here. Nope, still doing low strike. Come on, Dan. Fix it up. That's a head strike. Again, though, it's good to see myself on camera. Even better than in a mirror. I like seeing it on camera. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Going Superhuman. Again, a little martial arts focused like we had 2 episodes ago. You guys said you liked that last one, so hope you like this one too. Next week, I think we might go back to some judo stuff, maybe? I'm not sure. We'll see. Play it by ear. But thanks for watching, and as always, remember, live boldly, change the world, and continue to be awesome. Bye-bye.